Hey, so what's up, everybody? It's been a while since I have recorded anything. I wasn't gonna make a video about this installation on the 370Z, but I kind of figure I would give you some tips on how to make this installation easier and better for you because it is a pain in the butt. But if you plan accordingly and you get the proper tools, it'll be an easy fix. So and that's the reason I decided to actually make a video about it. It is dark. I always record dark for some odd reason, but I wanted you to see what I did and try to save you some headaches in the future. Okay, so first of all, get you a 1/4 inch ratchet, something short, stubby. That's probably good enough. Get you a swivel, 1/4 inch swivel. The smaller the profile, the better. And get you a 5mm hex adapter for your 1/4 inch X ratchet. Also, get a long needle nose plier with an angle. I use this to remove the hole plugs because they're pretty hard to reach, but you probably destroy them, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to use them again. Definitely a must-have. You need to have an extendable magnet. If it's flexible, even better, but this one worked for me. Get your number 10 socket, 1/4 inch also, and get you something adhesive like that. This is glass glue, basically. It's a little tart type glue, and what I did with this is that I took a little piece and I put it like so inside the hex hole and around this 5mm ratchet, right? And that way you can put the ratchet, put the bolt, the hex, number 5 hex bolt. You can put it this inside a hole, and that way you're not gonna be dropping that freaking bolt 20 times before you actually get the bolt in the hole. Tape, some people use tape, but you don't have room to get the tape. It might work for you, but I still use something sticky like this, you know, easy to remove, and you're gonna see why in a minute. Also, the extension, it doesn't have to be that big. This is, I think, a 10 inch or 12 inches 1/4 inch extension with a little swivel head, but anything works because the small swivel is gonna do all the job. And let me show you things to save you headaches. Number one, the way this part is machined, right? I've seen people doing this installation and talking about, oh, I have to eliminate bolts because the head, they're not, well, it's a machining issue or whatever. I'm pretty sure Z1 is trying to get input on how to make things better, and I think this will work. First up, get that center hex bolt in first, but don't get it in all the way, just enough to secure the part. That way you don't have to be holding the part with your left hand, because it is uncomfortable to get the part in there, right? Then immediately after that, play with the part and put it in there. Put it in there so that when you put this bolt in, you can move the part up and down to where the bolt gets inside the hole, so you can thread it. and just drive this in a little bit too. Don't get it in all the way, maybe 2 or 3 turns, because this parts are machined with small tolerances, right? Because you don't want this part to be moving around. It defeats the purpose of the part. It also creates problems. You can rip off a bolt off the firewall or whatever, and then you're gonna do the same here. Secure this bolt, put it in, and basically after that you're done. You just tie them pretty secure and get them in there. I'm trying to get this one in there so you can see why I'm saying to use something like glue, because see, it's in there. And what's gonna happen now when I pull, see what happened? That swivel with the extension, it's stuck. If you use tape or something, you're gonna have a harder time. But then if you get your needle nose plier with the angle, you can pull your tool out no problem. And that's basically the reason why. If that fails, you always have the magnet to pick up your tools from underneath the brake booster. Another thing, save your headache. Don't cut corners. Remove this 10mm bolts. So this clutch cylinder reservoir, it's out of your way, or it's maneuverable. Because what's gonna happen, and I forgot to mention this tool, this bolt right here in the back, you see it against that master cylinder, you're gonna have to drive that all the way back. You can do that before you start the installation, but then you have less space to maneuver the part. So I left it in all the way, and then with the open range, and especially this one that's stubby, now I grab, see, and I have space to maneuver because I moved this part. Still, it's a little problematic, right? Also, this connectors here, the master cylinder, the fluid level connector, I took that out of the way. And then I also took this right here and I unplugged it. So nothing. I think so. So then there's nothing on the way to stop you from rotating this 19mm ratchet, right? And then the same way with this remove, you can actually manipulate better or rotate around the lines better to get this counter nut, because you gotta fasten this against the part so this doesn't come unscrew. Knowing that from the beginning, this would have been easier installation. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you. Hope it's helpful.